So the light from the medallion began to fail. Raceland nodded. That's going to somebody else. I mean, she can go. It's not a... I'll let go. I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm not going to treat her like an object. You know? She's not my possession. While with me, I would be, you know, asking her questions. I wouldn't be commanding her. I wouldn't be controlling at all. But I mean, I already shared this. So now other people are doing this to her. Under a false, I'll do it too. This is what we're going to do, because he's trying to take it from me. And he's trying, and she's been dumb enough to help him. And these people out there, you know, with their cued, you know, stop him or whatever, they have no idea what's really going on. None of them would help. None of them would help him. Damn. That's not necessarily true, though. But they definitely wouldn't want to get caught for it. And they definitely wouldn't want, you know, other people later to, you know, they wouldn't want to be the one saying, no, don't do it. Don't make sure that she has, you know, the right to know what happened to her that totally involves her. Don't let her know that her dreams and everything are being taken away from her. Don't let her know that the biggest opportunity for her is actually not with there. You know what I mean? So, careful of that. Because those people, what do they know? They know what? Somebody else told them that I was a stalker or something? That's coming from my ex-girlfriend. It's not even real. Anyways, thankfully she knew, because she was required to lie about something violent that I did. And so she knew to make up that I grabbed her wrist at a health food store around people. So she knew to do that because I'm not violent. I'm totally safe. I'm a hard worker. I'm legal. I mean, where did I break a law? I was like totally desperately trying to save people's lives. I should have done it. But anyways, it was like going, oh, this Adderall is going to help me write letters faster. Something comparable to that. But nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Jaywalked, you know. I called out to you using the name Phistodonolus. That made them pause. Then Chrysania's voice lost its fear and was edged with anger. She will eventually have that. She will eventually wake up to that. Her voice does have an edge, and it's dangerous. The amount of respect that we're getting is huge. But, you know, she's already been tricked into giving it somewhere else. And it makes it easier, you know. It doesn't really make it easier for somebody else to go, oh, cool, Scientology is the one doing this. Let's just do this. No. Thankfully, the truth is most difficult to hide where I'm found. That's the safest place to be, especially in her situation. But I mean, ever since she came across me, they've been paid to bring her the opposite truth while showing her proof that it was real, because they were arranging this. It was all just a part of somebody's sick plan to keep on going with taking all my stuff. Amber Entertainment was totally gone, and people deserve to have it. It shouldn't go to anybody else. They don't even know how, even though they stole the formulas and stuff I made, they still would be totally confused on how it works and what to do and everything. It wouldn't even, the people would always be lacking forever. Humanity would always get less because it didn't come from me. Always. Humanity would. Trust me. They deserve to get it. It seriously helps them more than everything. Like, what's their alternative? Well, what was the other entertainment? Trust me, what I made was the best. And somebody knew it. It was like, although he's on the list to die, we better loot his stuff here. Anyways, so, and then Phistodonolus came toward us. He called out to you, using the name Phistodonolus, that made them pause. Then Chrysania's voice lost its fear and was edged. That's because they're trying to frame my father as being the one that's doing it. And edged with anger. Your brother grabbed me and threw me down on the floor, shouting something about, let them see. They need the evidence. That is my dad. Let them see him as he exists in their own darkness. When Paladine's light no longer touched you, those creatures. He shuddered and covered her face with her hands, still hearing Raceland's terrible scream echoing in her mind. My brother said that? Raceland asked softly after a moment. Sorry for repeating this. Chrysania moved her hands to look at him, puzzled at his tone of mingled admiration and astonishment. Yes, she said coldly after a moment. Why? He saved our lives, Raceland remarked. What we don't want to trust saved us? Wow. His voice once more caustic. The great dolt actually had a good idea. Perhaps you should leave him blind. It aids his thinking. Get it? Because they're trying to prove that he's a Nazi or that he's a part of this network that should be stopped. Because it was just what they did to me. When in reality, they weren't part of those people. He was just, nobody at my work wanted to get fired. That would have been like if they were really the people they were pretending to be, they would have been fired. They were just pretending. It was funny to make fun of the neighbors. They were out there somewhere. Not lying. Ask them. My brother. So, anyways, Sean Davis was the first one that went through it. To scare him straight or whatever. and he was, drinking non-alcoholic beer or whatever. It was fake. It was absolutely 100% fake. They weren't killing anybody or anything like that. But what I witnessed, obviously, was part of that. And somebody made a mistake. Took it too seriously, or maybe somewhere else somebody actually did. But nobody that was around me was involved in that. As far as I know, that's true. And of course, I wouldn't want to help anything. That's bad. None of them wouldn't have wanted. They wanted me to be legal. They didn't want me to be, illegal. So it was, just giving Zach Morris what he wanted to teach him a lesson. Because I was checking out new goth music while coming in on Adderall on Wednesdays. Anyways, so Chrysania moved her hands to look at him, puzzled at his tone of mingled admiration and astonishment. Yes, she said coldly after a moment. Why? He saved our lives. Okay. The great dolt actually had a good idea. Perhaps you should leave him blind. It aids his thinking. So the word dolt is warning me about somebody that would want to trap somebody or control the whole situation by force. Raceland, he accidentally helped that. Raceland tried to laugh, but it turned to a cough that nearly choked him instead. Chrysania started toward him to help him, but he halted her with a fierce look, and even his body twisted in pain. So he's in pain, he's letting her go. He's decided to move on. He's deciding to move on. Rolling to his side, he retched. Well, that's been happening because of having this incredibly romantic experience, but then I'm finding out that she's with somebody else. I actually feel it. It was incredibly romantic what she did for me. Incredibly romantic. But not the part where it's showing me how it actually is hurting other people because of, needing help and going along with what other people do, the path they provide to help. So he fell back weakly, his lips stained with blood, his hands twitching. I've been on Twitch. His breathing was shallow and too fast. That means too many people. Not too many people, but he could easily marry somebody else and they would want to marry him. Occasionally, a coughing spasm wrenched his body. Chrysania stared at him helplessly. You told me once that the gods could not heal this malady. But you're dying, Raceland. Isn't there something I can do? Is that what they've convinced you of? No. She asked softly, not daring to touch him. He nodded, but for a minute, could neither speak nor move. Finally, with an obvious effort, he lifted a trembling hand from the chill floor and motioned Chrysania near. She bent over him. Reached up, he touched her cheek, drawing her face close to his. His breath was warm against her skin. That means getting married would make us rich. Water, he gasped inaudibly. That means teasing them. He could understand him only by reading the movements of his blood-caked lips. It means don't trust anything that comes from other people, like food, water. A potion will help. Like Chipotle is better than the other stuff because you're becoming too rich and powerful. They're afraid of you going to court. We'll be absolutely rich, though, because of what they did to us. Feebly, his hand moved to a pocket in his robes. And warmth, fire. I have not the strength. I also haven't chose the object at her feet. Chrysania nodded to show she understood. Caramon. I just need to make sure I have the right. That she has the right, and we're both, able to meet. She's able to know what she actually did for me, and everything that happened, and that I was honest the whole time. She needs to know that. Chrysania nodded to show she understood. Understand that somebody was trying to kill me and take all my stuff when I contacted her, or when I came up with a plan to meet her. Caramon, his lips formed the words. Those things attacked him, she said, glancing over at the big warrior's motionless body. I'm not sure if he's still alive. We need him. You must heal him. He could not continue but lay panting for air, his eyes closed. Chrysania swallowed, shivering. Are you sure? She asked hesitantly. He tried to murder you. Raceland smiled, then shook his head. The black hood rustled gently at the motion. Opening his eyes, he looked up at Chrysania, and she could see deep within their brown depths. That represents somebody else trying to convince her that she was actually coming to me while he was married to her, and that I should die for that. Rather than, the truth. it's in a song, Mary Lou. It's also in the word Lou. Lou means working on surrounding, on sharing and the person. It's selfishly too, because of the letter U is for an individual. So the word Lou is, but I mean, I don't want to. She's been warning me not to give too much love in that direction, because it's been impossible for us to be. I don't know. It's somebody else is too, I don't know, familiar with how to use that against us or whatever, and has already done it in too many ways. Who knows? I'm not sure, but anyways, so Raceland smiled. He shook his head. The black hood rustled gently at the motion. That means the black neighborhoods would be a lot more peaceful when I'm discovered and I have more money and power, and the coven of logic has reached the teachers and stuff, and they are doing what stops crime from spreading and everything, and able to do stuff now, like change, like the juvenile hall and the justice thing and everything that we're doing. You'll see, if you look on my website, you see what I'm trying to do, plans I'm doing. Chrysania. Let's see. The flame within the mage burned low. Let's see. He opened his eyes. He looked up at Chrysania, and she could see deep within their brown depths. She also has, it could be somebody else. But if that's true, the best thing for him to do would be to help her, meet me, give an object or whatever, and, help me find somebody else. Win by complimenting. It shouldn't be done through competing. It's proving that we're not civilized. The more civilized, the more teamwork, all that stuff, you win by complimenting. It's kind of sick to think competition's the only way to win. That's not right. That's not civilized. It's time to be more civilized. The letter Q is, supposed to teach more civilized ways, but it's not supposed to justify people, to enforce people into that, Opening the letter Q is what teaches people that we're not objects. The person doesn't get their hand wrapped until the person's selected. The person has a right to, Anyways, so the flame within maybe she will marry somebody else. Maybe she will be with somebody else. But it wouldn't be until, we've met and we both have changed. And both of us would become like ridiculously more coveted and stuff like that everywhere, of course. Chrysania, he breathed. I am going to lose consciousness. Just don't jump into anything now. That would be so stupid. I understand. Never mind. I am going to lose consciousness. You will be alone in this place of darkness. My brother can help. Warmth. That means money. He's saying that she should get a job that is social, just to guarantee her family and friends and herself is the most safe, so that she can, spread notes and stuff like that. His eyes closed, but his grasp on Chrysania's hand tightened, as though in devouring, to use her life force to cling to reality. With a violent struggle, he opened his eyes again to look directly into hers. "Don't leave this room," he mouthed. His eyes rolled back in his head. Wait. So wait, hold on. Warmth. His eyes closed, but his grasp on Chrysania's hand tightened. So the hands are supposed to join. It either goes toward hooking her up with somebody else, or goes toward hooking us up with somebody else, or goes toward hooking us up with each other. And that was, the tattoo and everything. It's very spiritual to wake up to that. But it shouldn't be used to expand another religion or church or whatever, obviously. Especially because of what's happened. They pretty much have proven that. His eyes closed, but his grasp on Chrysania's hand tightened, as though endeavoring to use her life force to cling to reality. With a violent struggle, he opened his eyes again to look directly into hers. "Don't leave this room," he mouthed. His eyes rolled back in his head. This room? Oh. The Portland? Something? I mean, the thoughts that I have always matter. It's so weird. But it was the places she was streaming out of Portland, I guess, is what I thought about. Careful though, because I don't know. Because I mean, if they did something like force her to go along with something and then bought it for her, they'll have to give her that house. His eyes closed. Okay, so anyways, "You will be alone." Chrysania glanced around fearfully, feeling suffocated with terror. So that's coming from a Kate Bush song as well, called "Hounds of Love." I think it's the song called. Where she's saying she's too scared to walk on the water. Lake Balboa, and it's the inner Italian slut to let go of. Be throwing her high heels in the lake, because I hate high heels. It's funny. It's unhealthy for her in the long run. Her oldest version hates them too, probably. And my ex-girlfriend's named Balboa for a reason. It's a very beautiful show. People should, wake up to. Obviously allow us to have, rather than keep, doing this, getting other people involved and making us feel risked and all this. But where somebody's feeling like, the whole time our freedom of expression is being tested, and so is a network that's totally illegal and involved in human trafficking or kidnapping children and stuff. So, "You will be alone." Chrysania glanced around fearfully, feeling suffocated with terror. Water. Warmth. How could she manage? She couldn't. Not in this chamber of evil. Needs help. "Raceland," she begged. It's found in the word Amberglen. "I haven't even started reaching out to the rich people that will help us. It's going to be easy doing like pre-death funerals and stuff for them. But somebody has been blocking me. He's been paying people on the other side and everything to block me. It's going to be seen. It's going to be totally known. And the person has been able to frame other people as the ones doing it, or whatever. But anyways, but they need to stop. They need to wake up to, nobody really has the right to do that. Especially in this country, It's where they have it the least. Like just killing somebody and looting them because you want their stuff. Anyways. "Raceland," she begged, grasping his frail hand in her hands and resting her cheek. against it. "Raceland, please don't leave me," she whispered, cringing at the touch of his cold flesh. "I can't do what you ask. I haven't the power. I can't create water out of dust," she's saying. They don't want her enough. Oh, she needs to get off of the dust. Get away from the people that use it as well. Raceland's eyes opened. They were nearly as dark as the room in which he lay. Moving his hand, the hand she held, he traced a line from her eyes down her cheek. Then the hand went limp, his head lolling to one side. You could kill me. And I don't believe in doing a show to scare her straight or whatever. I do know that company is all she needs. My company would be the best, be the most effective in cleaning us both up. But I mean, I'm not a control freak. But it is better than, doing stuff to scare us straight or whatever. It was more effective when my dad, it shows at Francis Court, when he, just did the guilt trip thing. I quit more than anything. The fear actually didn't work as much because I knew it was a show. But I guess somewhere else it maybe wasn't, but I still had to quit though. They were forcing me to. But because the next time I would have got a beer or whatever, it would have been like, well, in the minds of other people, I thought it was funny hurting somebody else every time I did something. And that's, so it proves that I'm addicted, and then they won. So I had to prove I wasn't addicted. But anyways, so, that's so weird. Chrysania raised her own hand to her skin in confusion. Make sure you stay away from fentanyl is the biggest thing. That would be where somebody tries to kill you or thinks they can get away with it the most. Oh, she was suicidal. She, they would, try to do something like that. She killed herself. She was so depressed she couldn't be with him. Right? They would do some kind of trail to make it look like she was sad, and then whatever, and then she's dead. That's really evil. Anyways, Chrysania raised her own hand to her skin in confusion. If you're impressed with me or whatever, wouldn't you should wake up to the people haven't been carelessly, well, I don't know, never mind. Chrysania raised her hand to her skin in confusion, wondering what he meant by a strange gesture. Be careful of people touching you, too. It had not been a caress, because they might try to drug her or put something that does something, He was trying to tell her something. That much had been apparent by his assistant gaze. But what? Her skin burned at his touch, bringing back memories. And then she knew. "I can't create water out of dust. My tears," she murmured.